All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing business and personal credit. So let's get into it. I'm going to be showing you guys my personal credit report on Credit Karma. All right. And as you can see here, I'm at a 764 and a 784 with TransUnion and Equifax. My credit score is at an excellent rating, which is where you want to be. Anywhere from this point to an 800, it really makes no difference. You're still getting those same rates that you would be getting anytime you reach that next bracket, which is excellent, good, fair, all that type of stuff when it comes to credit. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the cards that I have here. So with personal credit, I want to say I have about 25 accounts, over 25 accounts, and I acquired that over the course of, I want to say 3 to 4 years at most. And now, mind you, I don't use all these cards. I use what gives me the most in perks. So if you were to use certain cards, just make sure you use what's benefiting you. I'm going to be getting into that and how I made some mistakes when it came to getting certain cards. Now, let's start off with the personal cards list. I have a whole stack right here, and I'll leave the best for last. But let's start off with the Barclay card. This card right here. With Barclay, this is a great card to have. Their company with Apple. So any type of Apple products, anything like that, you're getting discounts. I know there's a point system with them. I'm not too far into that. My main usage for this card would have to be the fact that they send me these checks for balance transfer fees. They're non-existent. So you don't have to worry about that with this card. And it's a great card to have in your back pocket. Another card that I have here is the Macy's card. As you can see, I don't even use it. I got that thing years ago. It's just good for whatever store purchases that and discounts that they have going on for their company. You want to use that card. There was a point in time in my life where I was just grabbing whatever card I could get when I went to that store. Another card that I have is the Capital One Quicksilver card. This card right here is a good card. I would consider it a beginner card. I had that account. It's like one of my oldest accounts. I want to say it's like 6 years old, 7 years old. And balance for me is not too bad. I think they have like a $6,000 balance for me on that card. It takes a while to get some money from Capital One. They're like a beginner phase, mostly for college kids and people with low credit. So if you got low credit, Quicksilver, that's where you want to be at. The next card that I have right here is my Best Buy card. As you can see, this card right here is great for going to Best Buy and making purchases. They obviously have any type of store card is going to give you some extra benefits to that store. So if you're shopping at Best Buy, like I'm about to be today, I'm about to get some new equipment, and I'm obviously going to use this card because it's going to give me the most in savings right away. So it's a great card to have. Now I do have, before I get into that, I have the Apple card. This card is another good card. I'm an Apple user. As you can see, it's got a bunch of Apple products around me. So having this card is a benefit when you're choosing to shop at Apple or buying any type of Apple products. It's a great card to have. Save you some money, get you some points. You know what I mean? This is what we're trying to do over here. We're trying to make some money while spending money. It's just a game. So now we're gonna get into the jewelry cards. So I have a couple of these. Make sure I have them all in my pile. So yeah, I have a couple of these jewelry cards. Starting with Zales card. We got Pearson Pagoda. We got K's. Well, Bloomingdale's would be considered, I guess. It's more of a shopping card for clothing, but they sell jewelry too. And Banter is the same as, I believe, Pearson Pagoda. They just switched their name. But yeah, those are good accounts to have. Beginner accounts, I would think, because that was when I just started my credit venture, that I was acquiring these cards, and yeah, I think I got like some pretty good savings from using these cards. Not to mention, you build your credit worthiness, you build your credit portfolio or whatever. Because whenever you get a new credit card, that balance adds to your total available credit. So it's a good thing to always try to get as many credit cards as you can. You don't have to use all of them, but you just balance yourself, flip through them. I have a couple, what I would consider bigger bank cards that come from, more established banks like PNC. It's a great card to have. PNC is a great bank to have, actually. As far as the credit card, great credit card, great perks, can't complain. They have this thing where they give you certain points, more points than usual for certain months. So I'm not a person that's typically food shopping and all that stuff. I leave that for my missus. So I don't typically go into all that. So I don't get that much value from this. It's just having an extra credit card. My last two favorite cards right here. This is my favorite bank. If you live in PA, this is the bank to get as far as like credit unions go. I know everybody's looking to be in Navy Federal. And don't get me wrong, I'm in Navy Federal too. It's a great bank. They give me a lot of money. But at the same time, there's other banks that do the same thing. And the bank that I'm talking about is PSECU. Now I have two cards with them. This is the two cards that they have available credit-wise. And I think one is their signature and the other one's their like classic card. I don't know. But regardless of the fact, they gave me the most credit that you're eligible to get with their company. I think it's about $30,000. And great card. Great card, great bank. I'm probably giving them too much props on this video, but they have not let me down once. This bank has taken care of me from as far as like my car loans, personal loans, anything like that. They took care of me. And I believe it's because of the relationship that I built over the years. I paid my bills, barely got any overdrafts when I was a youngin'. But yeah, it's a great bank. So if you're in Pennsylvania, I will highly suggest you grabbing this card. It's a really good bank to have. I put a lot of my friends onto this bank. You just won't go wrong. Now let's get into the heavy hitters of my personal credit. When I was talking to you earlier and I said, hey, I made a mistake. In the beginning, when I first started my credit ventures and I was trying to acquire all these cards, I found the big boy. They gave me the pre-approval. You know what your boy did. He ran and he got that card. That card being the American Express Platinum. This big boy, it's a great card, don't get me wrong, but ooh, if you don't have the lifestyle to sustain this type of card or to get the most value from this card, I would highly suggest waiting. Because to be honest, what I did was I had to downgrade from this card. So I still have usage, but right now I'm not necessarily using it. I'm trying to put it into my business's name because it doesn't give me that much value on my personal side. On my personal side, you got the gold card. This card right here is perfect. It only costs about $200, $250 a year, which is great. It's not bad at all because of the perks. You're making well above $250. So I actually use the card. I actually use the perks, so it makes sense. But with this card, it was like $650 or $700 right now, and it just didn't make sense for me. I'm not traveling enough. I'm not going to, different areas enough to get the full advantage from this card. The main perk, if you don't know, is the airport lounges, and it's worth it. Let me tell you that it's worth it. If you go to the airport and you're buying food, like myself, I get hungry, I sit around, I'm bored. This saves you money because when you go to the airport lounges, now you don't have to pay for the food. It's free. So it's a great card to have, and not to mention it's a status symbol. So when you have the card, it's a status symbol. I'm not gonna hold you guys. It's definitely that type of card. So now we're gonna go talk about my accounts. As you can see, I have over 25 accounts. Like I was saying, my payment history is at 100%. I cannot stress to you enough that payment history is one of the biggest factors in your credit score. It's what's going to weigh you down. You want to have a good payment history. It tells lenders that you actually pay your bills and you paid it on time. So have that payment history stay at a very high number. If you miss the payment, it's fine. Just make sure you keep paying from that point on. It's going to be a little bit tricky for you. You may not get that high score right away. It will take a long time, but over time, as your credit profile thickens, you should be able to acquire that score that you're looking for. My credit card usage is at 8%. Now, why is that? As you can see, I just showed you guys a whole bunch of cards. So I'm spreading myself out. I don't necessarily use one card. I use multiple cards, and whichever ones is giving me the best in perks. So I highly suggest flipping through your cards and knowing which one gives you the best value. Like I said, I'm going to shop today to go pick up some equipment. Why wouldn't I use my Best Buy card? It saves me, I believe it's like 5%. That's a no-brainer. So when it comes to credit card usage, you want to keep it low by spreading yourself out between multiple cards. So that's the next one is your credit age. Now, this is something that you can't typically change. The only way to change this by there's a one way to change this from the standpoint of how can I get my credit age to be a little bit longer. You have to get a trade line. You have to get either somebody that has some credit history and they put you on their credit. That's the only way that you can build that credit age to an age that is substantial for you or for what you may need to do. So credit age is very important when it comes to your credit profile and the credit mix. It's one of those heavy hitters. It's a medium impact, but I believe it's a high impact. They just don't make it seem like that. Another thing is total accounts. It's not that high of an impact, but it is something that you should look to knock out. It's one of those easy things. The reason why it's so easy is because it's not that hard to go into a store and go get a card every so often. So make it like my advice to anybody, if I was trying to build my credit profile over the long term, so say like in a year's span of time, I would probably try to acquire 4 to 5 cards throughout that year. And the reason why I say 4 to 5 is because as you're doing this, it's going to hit your profile with a hard inquiry. So after a certain amount of inquiries, you're just going to get denied. So do about 4 to 5 a year. And then on the second year, if you're not getting any pre-approvals, just wait until that next cycle comes in, and then you just do it again. So that's why I said it took me about 3 to 4 years to get to this point, because obviously I couldn't get all of these cards all at once. So that's another major one to pay attention to. And the last thing is the hard inquiries. The hard inquiries are definitely impact to your score. It's a low impact, but it's an impact nonetheless. So pay attention to that. A good way to know, a good reason to pay attention to it is if you're looking to get into like a bank like Chase, they're not going to let you in if you have more than 5 inquiries. And I think it's like their 520 rule or something like that. I forget what the name of it is. But yeah, you don't want to have a certain amount of inquiries going to Chase because they're going to automatically deny you. Now, mind you, I do have Chase. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Actually, I'm going to pivot now into that topic. So what we're going to talk about now is business credit, guys. I know some of the people that are watching this video are highly anticipating this breakdown on business credit and how I was able to acquire it. Now, first off, to get business credit, you do need an LLC. You can't do this through a sole proprietorship, because basically what you're doing is you're still getting credit under your personal name, because the business is completely tied to yourself. So you want to have an LLC to get some business credit, and in order to start doing all that, you want to have a bank account. your business needs a bank account. So as soon as you have a bank account, now you're properly established, you can go out and go ask for some credit. So I have multiple businesses. I was able to get cards for each business, but the one business that I truly focused on is the one that I'm doing right now, which is the house renovation, investor, real estate, all that stuff. This is what I'm doing, and that is my main business that's pulling all this business credit for the most part. So like I said before, I have American Express, right? I was able to build that relationship with them through having the platinum and the gold and making my payments on time. So when it came for me to have some business credit with them, they had no problem. They actually gave me both cards right off the bat. I think it was like 2 to 3 days apart. So I have the business cash, this card right here, and I have the business plus, this card right here. Basically the same card. They work the same, but one gives you cash back, one gives you, I think, bonus cash or something like that. I'm not sure how it works, but they're both great cards to have for your business. The main thing for it is the 0 APR. If you're a credit warrior and you know about credit, you know you're looking for 0 APR. That means you basically got some free money for like 12 to 15 months, and now you just got to think and know how to move that. So that's what you want to look for when it comes to 0 APR and credit cards for your business. You know, I have some gas cards too. I have Exxon Mobil. Yeah, my card does not take cheap gas, so I gotta keep one of those on me for my my business vehicle, and for my bigger vehicle, you know, my truck. Keep the Wawa card, you know, is you gotta get some coffee, you gotta get your stuff. Go to Wawa, fill up your tank, all that stuff. Yeah, great cards. So I also have the, Lowe's card. And I got this card for every single one of my businesses. So I got it 3 times over. 1, 2, and 3. So great card to have. Lowe's gives you 5% back when you make a purchase with their card. So if you're spending like $1,000, you see, so it makes sense to use their card. I know I'm missing some. I don't have all. Another thing that I can honestly tell you guys when it comes to business credit, you want to get trade lines. Now, mind you, these credit cards are considered trade lines, but the trade lines that I'm talking about are net 30 and 60 accounts that you get from individual businesses like Uline, Shirtsy, Grandeur. There's a couple. I just can't think of all of them off the top of my head. Now, these are great ways to build some credit for your business. And all you have to do is just make sure you pay them on time. That's it. When I first started off, I ordered some shirts from Shirtsy and ordered some supplies from Uline, and they came pretty quick. And as soon as that invoice came, paid it. So you pay your bills, and off the rip, you'll be able to do some things and get some credit. Now I'm gonna blow up on the screen my business credit scores from NAV. Now the main credit, like Credit Karma for personal credit, the main credit place to go for business credit, I would say would be nav.com. You can also go to Dun & Bradstreet. I used to work there, but their package costs a lot of money just to keep up on your business credit. It seems like a lot. So NAV, you know, you just make a payment every quarter. Yeah, that's the one I set up. I set up my business for. You make a payment every quarter. I think it's like $70. I'm not sure, but I set it up to one of my cards, and what it does is it makes a payment for your business credit so that you can see the profile. So like Credit Karma, you can see it for free, but with NAV, you can see it for free, but you can't see the whole thing. So you pay for that service to see the whole thing and get the full breakdown of your credit. And what they do is they send in that payment that you make to them as a credit payment for your business credit. So it helps build your business credit over time. So NAV is a great site to use if you're trying to build some business credit and monitor your movements when it comes to your business. So lastly, before I end this video, because I got to get out of here, let's talk about the tips that I can give when it comes to managing money and managing credit. So one thing that I like to do, give me a second, is make these notes. So I have an iPhone, and I'm pretty sure Android users have notes too, but I take my phone and I make notes. Now, these notes are like my personal debt right there, and I break everything down, and I put all the cards that I'm using at that month, and I put the balances on there, and I put green check marks. As you can see right there, there's green check marks. Those green check marks mean that I paid that for the month. Now, it's a great way for me to keep tabs on what I have to pay. Organization, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's key. I'm telling you, you want to be organized. When you're organized, everything just seems to fall in place. That's just how myself works. I need to be organized. I'm one of those people. Video cut off on me, so yeah. So like I was saying, you want to make sure you pay attention to your bills. Have them on your phone. Have them on. You know, you can write it down, but that's like years ago. People used to do that. You're gonna lose the damn paper. You won't lose your damn phone. So put that stuff in your phone. Put a note and just break down everything. So not only do I have it for my personal, of course I'm gonna have it for my business side. So every time that I'm using certain cards, boom, everything is laid out for me so I can know what to do. You see those stop signs there? Those stop signs mean stop spending on that card. You know, I have these little things that kind of trigger my brain to certain things. So do what makes you feel good, do what's comfortable for yourself. But that's the best piece of information that I can give you guys when it comes to this stuff. I'm only gonna get better. I'm only learning. I'm only growing. Nobody's here holding my hand and teach me this stuff. I have to teach myself. But I'm gonna make it easier for you guys. So like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get every update on the new video that I'm dropping. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.